Noah never made it home from that party. On Labor Day, September 4th, he was found dead less than a mile away on the side of a rural highway. He was naked except for his shoes, and to this day, nobody knows what happened to him. I should say that Noah's family doesn't know. And if police know, they are doing a great job of hiding it. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation declared his death suspicious, but they've released almost no other details. Same with the Highway Patrol. The funeral home did give Noah's family a preliminary death certificate and listed the cause of death as blunt force trauma, but that's not official, and it's not confirmed either. And it's now been 7 agonizing months. I'm joined now by Noah's sister and his cousin and his aunt, Madison Rawlings, Ashley Chadwick, and Robyn Smith. Thank you to all three of you for being on the program tonight. And may I just say, I am so incredibly sorry for what your family is going through. I cannot imagine just how traumatic it is and how stressful it is while you're trying to grieve. So I'm very appreciative that you came on the program tonight. Madison, can I begin with you? These last 7 months, what are the authorities telling you when you ask them for answers?
Really, all we get is we're working on it. It's a small community. We don't want it out. We don't want any of our leads to get messed up, or we just keep it quiet for now. It's pretty quiet on our end and on the officers' ends, as far as we know.
But is there no victim's advocate who's like working with you and at least helpful to you to guide you through this process?
And no, ma'am, we have not been assigned a victim advocate at all.
Are you upset with the authorities in how they've treated you? And do you feel that they really are continuing this investigation and that they're keeping things close to their vests for good reason?
I want to believe that in my heart. I want to understand that they are doing their job and that I just need to trust the process, and they do this more than me ever. And so I think there's that hopefulness that as long as I believe, they believe, and everything is going to figure itself out. But I think as time continues on and we see nothing month after month after month, that when that hope dies, what comes next? And if I'm not proactive now, well, then did I miss my opportunity to get some more help?
Ashley, let me ask you about the same, question in terms of asking for regular updates, not getting any. What actually do they say? Like, what sort of verbiage do they use to try to assuage your concerns, your understandable concerns?
As far as assuaging our views on what is being done, there's nothing. We're working on it, and that's it. That's pretty much it. That's what they leave it at. There's no elaboration, nothing. So that's what we're going off of. And, there's feelings of frustration, sometimes, and aggravation. And that's kind of where we're at. I mean, a lot of us go through the process of grieving, where we were sad, and some are going through the process of being angry.
So, Robyn, the preliminary death certificate that mentions the blunt force trauma, that's from the funeral processing, but not from the authorities. Why did they even give that to you? For what purpose would they have done that, but not for you to just be more frustrated that you can't get the final answer?
Well, in Oklahoma, the preliminary death certificate does come from the state. It's just not complete. It's not signed off on by the state, and it won't be until the investigation is finished and the official cause of death is listed.
I'm imagining you're as frustrated as anyone else, in the family, but do you make regular attempts to call the medical examiner and ask for cause of death, manner of death, any of the above, any information at all, Robyn?
There's been multiple attempts to reach out to the ME. They've told us that it's pending investigation. They cannot release a report until investigation is done.
We're just looking at pictures of Noah. He's just such a lovely looking kid. It's such a tragedy. Madison, these friends at the party, it seemed like a raging party. And, you know, they do what lots of teenagers do. They mess around, they slap each other. But in one picture, we noticed that there was a teenager holding a long gun. Is there any suspicion at all? Is anyone addressing that? And are these party goers helping you and telling you what they know?
As far as telling us what they know, whenever everything first happened, everyone had their own rumor. They had their own opportunities to come talk to the family, and a few did come to the house and chat with us. But since then, it's been pretty quiet. No one speaks to anybody really. And I think as far as the gun, it was brought up to the investigators and stuff, but since there was no indication of him being shot that we know of, I don't think that they really looked into it that far.
Did the kids have at least stories that corroborated each other? Meaning, did it feel as though they were telling you the truth about everything they knew?
No, ma'am. We did not get told the same story by any children.
And sometimes we got told different stories by the same kid. So he would come and tell us one story, and then a few days later, we'd get a completely different story.
And do the police know about this? Were they all questioned by the police? Did they all give statements?
Not that we're aware.
No, they were questioned by the police on the second or third day. They haven't been questioned since. There was inconsistencies.
Have you been able to tell the police? Sorry to interrupt. Have you been able to tell the police that you've been getting different stories?
Yes.
Well, at least they know that. I mean, that's something. Robyn, as Noah's aunt, what would you like everybody watching to know about your nephew?
He was ferocious in life. He embraced it. He didn't hold grudges. He loved life. He had fun. He didn't let anything get to him. He just was so forgiving. He was just such a sweet kid. He was so fearless. He would just be standing there and do a flip in front of you straight off the ground. He was just such a good kid. He had such a good outlook on life. He had so much going for him, and he was a light.
And he was going to serve in the military as well. Ashleigh, do you want to add to that?
Yes. Noah was a lot of fun, and he was goofy. He was silly. He just had that personality that people gravitated to. And that's why he did have such a big friend base, you know, and people that stuck with him for a long time as a friend. And as for what the world to remember him, he would give the shirt off his back. He was willing to help. He's helped people in the family do things, handiwork. He was amazing, and he was as big of a heart that he was even bigger on forgiveness. So he was just great.
Well, one of my teammates just said, may we all be as ferocious in life as Noah. We'll stay on this, and you stay in touch with us and let us know what's happening in this investigation. But I suspect you should be getting answers sooner rather than later. That's been far too long. Thank you to all three of you, Madison Rawlings, Ashley Chadwick, and Robyn Smith. And our hearts go out to you and your family. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.